fine line between speed and smash and cannons into the trees.
Colin McRae Rally 2005 is peak rally gaming in the mid-2000s. Released on the 24th of September on the PlayStation 2, Xbox and PC, developed and published by Codemasters, one of the best developers for any motorsport game, Colin McRae 2005 did not disappoint. Boasting a very decent 83 Metacritic, and from the user score was actually deemed a 90. I personally give it an 85 Retrocritic score, as a 90 is insanely high, but it most definitely warrants slightly more than the critics. There are other Colin McRae games in the series of course, but 2005 to me will always be the pinnacle of content, gameplay and improvement from the last. And of course, if you do enjoy the Years Later series, please let us know what game you would like to see in the comments down below. Welcome to Colin McRae Rally 2005. Now, obviously, as said in the intro, there are plenty of Colin McRae games. This one in particular had one of the best ratings of all time, and I remember playing many hours of this one, and as a rally fan and motorsport fan in general, this is, pinnacle for me. You have challenges, you have a championship where you can actually be Colin McRae, you have career mode where you start your own rally journey, and of course Xbox Live, one of the first games to actually play online. We'll try a few game modes out, but of course we have to start with becoming Colin McRae. And if you're going to become Colin McRae, you have to pick the Subaru. And we are at the start line. Number 4, Colin McRae. And away we go. Immediately the Subaru is extremely slicky. Now if you don't know how rallying works, they'll say a number between 1 and 6. The lower the number, the tighter the corner. They will then use descriptions of 6 left, which means it's only slightly left. 30 long, 3 left would be turn, a decent amount left, but it holds on for a while. As you can see, we're drifting out a lot. So just there it says 6 right over crest, which means there's going to be a little dip in the road. A 6, not much of a turn. And obviously he said right, as we smash into a tree. You can see on the bottom left we have our damage on the car, which there's going to be a lot because I've just jumped into this with a Subaru. A lot of good things about these games in general is that it transcended motorsport, as in you did not need to be a massive fan of the sport to enjoy these games. You really didn't. I know plenty of people that have played the Colin McRae series or any series in general of racing games at this era that have no interest in motorsport in general. We are going to start this race in the chase cam, which is why I'm so terrible. I never play games in chase cam. I hate it so much. I much prefer being inside the cockpit itself, but when you're displaying a game or showcasing a game, you've got to show all aspects of it. And I think most people that don't play a lot of sim racing games, where this is not a sim racing game, it is not the quality of today's games, but when this was released, yes, it's probably as closest to a sim game as you could possibly get. And boy does it hold up. This turning is super responsive. This is on the original Xbox, where I'm playing with an Xbox Duke controller. This is definitely going to take some getting used to again. This is definitely going to take some getting used to again as we smash into another tree. But the Rally Finland is not an easy one. Stage complete. 17 seconds too slow, it looks like. So you can see the fastest time there was 3 minutes and 22 seconds. We got 3 minutes and 39 seconds. So we are in 15th place. Not good. But in Rally, it comes in stages. And boy, am I. Cockpit cam back. And we get a nice jump. I just feel like rally games in general, most racing games are way more immersive if they're in first-person mode. If you don't drive in real life, I can imagine this is pretty sketchy for you. If you do drive in real life, this is so much easier in my opinion. I will say the co-driver in this is very responsive as well. The directions on the screen are coming a bit early for me, so I think the turnings are coming sooner than they are. They're not matching the co-driver as much, but that's not a major issue. You can get used to that probably after about 10 minutes of playing the game. I'm driving so much smoother with this camera. Now this score received a 90 Metacritic from user reviews, as it was so popular. This game sold extremely well for the time, especially. I feel like a lot of games back in the day got people interested in those particular sports. If you played a hockey game in 2005 and you've never watched a hockey game, I guarantee a few people just went, do you know what, let's have a look. It's the same with rallying. It's the same with Formula 1. It was the same with MotoGP. It's the same with a lot of motorsport racing games. You can see on the top bar now as well that it's no longer red every section. This section is red because I was slower, but the first two sections I was quicker. This with a wheel would have been amazing. I mean, I still play Dirt Rally 2. I played a lot of Dirt Rally with a wheel. The objective of this video isn't to make you go and watch rallying, not even to make you look up Colin McRae. It's just a reminder that these games existed, and if you played them, watching this short video is going to blissfully give you a lot of nostalgia. Colin McRae, number 1 in phase 2. There you go, in stage 2, first place. managed to get it back. So first and 15th puts us 11th overall. This game is Colin McRae 2005, but 2005 was not exactly pinnacle Colin McRae. Colin was British Rally Champion in 1991 and 1992, obviously from Scotland, and it took a lot of persuasion to get him into the World Rally Championship, as his whole ethos was, when in doubt, flat out. What that means to anyone that doesn't know motorsport is, if I don't come first, I come last. I will do anything I can to make that car go as quick as I can. And that involved rolling the car every bloody time. The only people that were mad enough to give him a drive were Subaru. And the Flying Scotsman did not disappoint, because in 1995 he won a World Rally Championship. Now, why is he so famous? Because he's only won one World Rally Championship. There's a lot of world champions out there that have won many more that are nowhere near as famous as Colin, and it's because of his driving style. So anyone that hasn't played these games or is unaware what happened to Colin McRae, it's actually tragic. Colin McRae died in a helicopter crash that he was piloting, flying back to his home in Lanark, Scotland. It's a classic case of, with motorsport people or sports stars in general, they do a dangerous job for so many years and never have any crazy injuries or accidents. And as soon as they step away from the sport, something bad happens. The other fine example is Michael Schumacher, of course. But these games do live on, his memory lives on, everything good about Colin McRae lives on. And this game is no exception. Playing this so many years later is just a blessing. It's such an unbelievably classy game. Even though this says Colin McRae 2005, it was released in September 2004. So being just over 20 years ago and I'm still playing this game, it still feels this good. It's blowing me away, in all honesty. The fact I've damaged the steering so much in this car that it is seriously pulling my controller, and the vibration is insane. The Codemasters still make these games, despite them not being called Colin McRae Rally anymore. They are known as Dirt Rally. They are still making rally games and always having Colin McRae DLC, cars, features, anything like that, because they know people love it. Not just for the sake of, oh, Colin McRae, I love watching rally, but the sake of, oh, Colin McRae, I used to play those games. I guarantee half the people that are watching this video have not seen a World Rally Championship race. They have played a game or just heard of Colin McRae and feature, oh, that was 20 years ago. I'll be interested to see how many people are really into these games, how many people actually view this video, and how many people remember how good these games were. But again, there's only so much you can talk about while racing the same car on the same rally. This is an era where Forza Motorsport, TOCA was coming out, of course F1 games. You can see the Rally Finland. This is pretty much what it's like in real life as well. Just a lot of woodlands, trees, forest racing. Rally Sweden, of course, notably snow. The only difference between these games and the newer ones is they involve Rally Cross. After the Colin McRae games, they needed a new poster boy as well, which they did develop into Sebastian Loeb games. Now, Sebastian Loeb is probably the greatest rally driver of all time, so being a poster boy for it kind of warrants. But Colin McRae will always be that fan favourite. The detail on this game for sliding is quality. The bumps, the grooves, the shadows are very, very good. So here we can see back at the menu, we're going to do a challenge, and you can see all the lock cars, you can see the different categories we have. You can do it in special cars, or get a Mark 1 Escort, that is a quality car. All the four-wheel drive cars, or the two-wheel drive cars, or the rear-wheel drive cars with the Lancia Stratos. I think it would be rude not to try the four-cylinder Mini, and we'll do it, of course, in the UK. Some of the reviews for this game from back in 2004 and 5 are, though not particularly hard, the gameplay feels realistic, and the differing heights of certain sections of routes as well as the surface and weather conditions give the gamer plenty to think about. And this Mini looks quality. This is basically Rally meets the Italian Job now. You can see the ghost car there for the time trial, it's already in the trash. Significantly slower than our old Subaru of McRae, and I should bloody hope so. If this Mini was as fast as that, it would be a missile. But what I really like about this is the Metacritic scores it an 83, but the user is a 90. A game where people think it's better than a critic's review. Most of the time critics have been bought. You can see tons and tons of games coming out where they have 80 to 90 Metacritics, but the user reviews are all the way in the toilet at a 40 or a 50. How can there be such a disparity in reviews? But when you come to older games, typically they're more humble with the critics. People got their money's worth back in the day. I mean, this came out when I was still renting video games. Anyone born after this game was released won't have any idea what I'm talking about, but ask your mum and dad. I am absolutely roasting this Ghost, and you can really turn it in this car. The handling on this game is actually, for a rally game, extremely forgiving. I think this was the most realistic rally game to date, and I think this is why it holds up so damn well. Now I know this video isn't going to be a crazy long one, but I just hope everyone can see how showcasing this game from a gameplay retrospective point of view will hopefully trigger that nostalgic value to make people want to go out and buy a console of old, download a game of old, relive that nostalgia, because it's so worth replaying these video games. Flat out 65 miles an hour, flat out. I don't even think I need to brake at these corners at this rate. Yeah, I'm not, I'm just going to chuck it in. Colin McRae style in the Mini. Imagine Colin McRae driving this car. When in doubt, flat out. But if you have enjoyed watching this video and watching this rally game and gone, do you know what, I didn't think I would like this, and I do. If it has caught you by surprise, please let me know what other games by surprise you would like to see. It does not just have to be a motorsport game. This channel is all about reliving nostalgia, and I really feel this game is doing that for me, as we complete a stage 30 seconds quicker than the Ghost. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know games down below you'd like to see, and make sure to check out more videos like the two you see on screen now. Until next time, see ya.